everybody. Welcome along to our first Timely Fit class of 2021. While we're waiting for everyone to join, just give us a hello, give us a wave. Let us know that you can hear us okay. And today I am very excited to be joined by salon coach Jessica Crane. Jessica's had 20 years of experience in the hair and beauty industry and specialises in helping salon owners to build and scale their businesses, giving them more freedom and a lifestyle that they deserve, which I know is something you are very passionate about, Jess, because we've spoken about that quite a few times, making sure that people are getting the best out of it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
But today we're talking specifically about deposits and how to introduce deposits, and that's something that I know you recommend for your clients a lot, isn't it? Kind of deposits and securing that appointment with that way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it's not something already in the last couple of reopenings that you're doing, it's definitely something going forwards in which we can dive into a bit more today as to the how and why you should be following those processes.
Definitely. So let's start with why. Is there a particular reason why you recommend people use deposits to secure the appointments?
Yeah, I mean, now is the perfect time. And the why, I mean, we are an industry that trades time and expertise for money. So, you know, people are buying your time. Yes, they're buying your expertise as well, but they're also buying your time. So the main reason why is because they need to purchase that time that they're booking out for your treatment or your service. And, you know, that's where, because of obviously everything what's going on, we have in a lot of salons had to reduce trade, we've had to extend appointment time, we've had to kind of accommodate all these other changes, but we need to make sure that we're still having that cash flow coming through the business. And as a business, because we trade time for money, we can't afford to lose any more time. Like, we're already under all these pressures and all these constraints, and we can't afford, you know, I'm sure for a lot of you, you know, as soon as the minute you open that door, you could be back to back from 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you don't want to miss that opportunity where you've had no shows. And, you know, all of my clients over the past year, if they weren't already, they've definitely injected this process. And it has massively, massively, massively reduced no-shows. And as an industry, and I know I talked to you about this the other day, Amber, as an industry, if we want to raise the expectation of us, if we want to increase our reputation, if we want to be seen as creative talent, and we kind of really want to raise the standards and raise the game, we need to raise our processes and raise everything else at the same time. And we can't demand this respect or command or increase how people see us and think of us if we aren't doing it ourselves. We have to say, do you know what? We are an amazing, creative, talented industry. We respect our time and the abilities that we have. So we have these procedures and processes in place because we respect our time and our skills. When we are kind of feeding off that vibe, other people are going to absorb that. But when we allow ourselves to be open and we're allowing clients to dictate to us, oh, I'll turn up, I might not turn up, blah, 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 that's the kind of standard that we're setting. So I know there's a lot of talk about people want the outside industry to value us more, then we need to rise and raise our standards together. And I think that deposits is just one way, one small way of showing that we value our time and our skills. And if you want to make an appointment with us, you're going to have to pay for it. You know, we've kind of got to,
Absolutely.
and we need to across the board stand together and do it together. And then as an industry,
Yeah, and like you say, it kind of shows that the client is kind of committed to that appointment as well. They're giving you a commitment. You know, you're saying, yes, I'm happy to do this appointment for you, but you need to show me a bit of commitment. You need to kind of show me that you value what I'm doing. And by securing that appointment with that deposit, it kind of, like you say, it passes it on to the wider community. Outside of our industry, we know that we're a fantastic industry. We know that we're highly skilled and that we can do all those things, but it definitely passes it on, I think, by making people more aware of it. And the added bonus that after being closed for so long, it brings in a little bit of income now for appointments that maybe you know, you might not be doing for the next month or so. It brings you a bit of income coming in so that you've got something to kind of keep your business afloat, and just make sure that you've got that coming in now, because it's been a long time, hasn't it, really, since we've been able to open.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way most of the businesses work, or most of the trades work, is you pay a deposit or you pay up front. They then use that cash flow to deliver those treatments and services, whereas we do it the complete opposite way around. So this will actually allow to give you some cash flow ahead of completing those treatments or services. Yeah, I absolutely think we need to do this collectively as an industry and have one voice, and it will become the norm to the client. And I know that, Annabel, we've spoke, and I've heard also lots of people kind of saying that they've got multiple appointments and I'll see which one I can get first. We need to be in the driving seat of those appointments in our industry and not just be reactive to the client.
Definitely. And like you say, other industries do this already. You know, we were saying the other day, hotel industries do it, hospitality, if you're going for meals, things like that. It's become the norm in those industries because they stood together and they kind of took that stance that, yes, this is normal. If you want to book a table at your favourite restaurant, you automatically pay a deposit and nobody questions it. And I think if we, like you say, if we could get on that same footing, it will just become the norm for our industry as well.
Yeah, and because everything's moved to an online space as well, it's so seamless. Like, there's no reason not to do it anymore. Like, you're not having to be on the phone waiting for the dial-up tone. Like, it's not like that anymore. So you can make that a really seamless client journey from start to finish, and it just becomes the norm.
Yeah, and it kind of almost, like you say, because it becomes normal, it just becomes part of your online process of booking online. You know, this is just how we book appointments, you know, and it's that kind of one of the things I know we're talking about today is how you can handle objections, which is quite a big thing, I think, for the reason people worry about doing it. But kind of saying, well, this is just how we book appointments now, we're reopening. It's kind of the perfect opportunity to kind of put that in place, really, almost, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, looking at handling objections, the best thing to do is think about your message when you're going to tell clients of this new process, if it is a new process to you. And the best thing to do is look at the challenges and the things that are not working in the business. Like, do you have a high no client, no show rate, or, you know, looking at these issues, understanding why you need to put this process together. First of all, you have two kind of messages that you need to create as the business owner. The first one is getting the team on board. That's really, really important. And pull the data together. Like, go onto your Salon software system. Look at how many client no-shows did you have last year? What was the kind of rough lost revenue of client no-shows? Like, it could be an extra wage. Like, you could have employed an extra person last year in client no-shows. Like, pull that data together and first of all share that with your team so they can see the kind of facts, the figures, and they also then have confidence in dealing with and handling any client objections. The second thing, obviously, is talking to your clients about it and saying to them, you know, this is the new client process. We'll take percent deposit, blah, 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 these are the steps. And, you know, I think it's good to, when you and your team feel empowered by it, and you've got the knowledge and everything there in front of you in black and white, that'll instantly make you feel really confident in delivering it to your clients. I think people fear objections more than they actually happen. You might have one or two who will make a comment, but you're going to get that. There's nothing you can do about that, and you can obviously just explain that, you know, you can't afford financially for people to not attend appointments, because that is time that you have to pay your staff, you have to pay the bills, you have to pay overheads that isn't generating any revenue. I think the other good thing to do as well is to, because we were talking about this as well, Annabel, sometimes when you write something, it sounds really harsh. I know that I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, does that sound really harsh? Because I talk in almost bullet points when I'm writing something. And then I'm like, oh, how does that sound when it's read, not spoken? So another thing you can do is maybe create a video of you and your team saying, we can't wait to welcome you back to the salon. We're going to have our online booking up and running on this day. This will be the process. We've introduced deposits. And you want to kind of market to them why they're having deposits. You don't want a client who, you know, let's say, for example, somebody can't get in for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. And in that time, you've had 5 no-shows. Well, that client could have had one of those appointments. You're delaying the process of your clients coming to you because you're not securing those bookings and those timings. So you can kind of convey it in a video and make it as fun and make it on brand, in your brand tone voice, rather than it being written and then you kind of put it out and feeling a bit, oh, are they going to take this the right way? Or, you know, so social media.
And like you say, it's so difficult to get that kind of, like you say, get your personality across. Like I'm the same as you, Jess. I write everything and it sounds really harsh. And then, but I think when you're on a video, like you say, social media is perfect. You know, you can jump on an Instagram video, you can jump on a live, anything like that. And I think that in itself can be quite worrying sometimes for people, but definitely a video is much more approachable and much more engaging. People are looking forward to seeing, you know, your faces and sort of seeing you after being closed for so long. That to, you know, jump in and do it from your business with your staff there and kind of having, like you say, having a bit of fun, having a bit of a chat. It's just a much nicer way of kind of easing those objections straight away before you even got them. You know, they're not going to come to you with those because you've eased it straight away.
Yeah, the best way to handle objections is to put the fires out before they start. And if you're being open and honest and you're coming to people with all the information and you're managing their expectations of this is the process, this is how it works, go, here's where you can book, and you've been very, very clear, they won't have any objections because you've managed their expectations. And yeah, a video, you know, which then you can point them, you can embed a video onto your website or your booking page and kind of relay that message again. If it's a new concept that you're injecting, you can point them back to your social media. You know, you can send an email which points them to your social media video explaining the new process. But what you've also got to remember is sometimes we worry about something more than we need to. People will be so excited. I personally, as a consumer, will be straight on to having my nails done, having my hair done. I don't care if I need to pay for it in full. I don't care if I need to pay double. Just get me in. So, your consumers, your clients will be so excited to come back into salon that some of these things that you think are a big issue, they really won't care about. You know, they really won't. And if you just feel confident and clear in the process you want to put in place, and then you make sure that the team feel confident and clear on the process, and then, you know, as a group, you decide how you're going to execute that. Are you going to create a video? How are you going to do it? When are you going to share it? And then get that information to your clients, and you will feel like amazing, ready to go, open the booking link and get the cash in the business.
Absolutely. And is there I know you said that you wouldn't mind paying double for your treatments. I think most of us would be the same at this point, that we'd just quite happily have them done. Is there a specific amount that you normally recommend for your clients? I know I used to do 50% for mine, but is there a specific sort of formula that you use for your clients' deposits?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think 50% is good. I think it needs to be enough that they're not just going to go, nah, and still not turn up. Some people have put a fee on it before, and it's like, £10 or whatever, or a specific amount. But I think, a 50% booking fee, and you need to also make sure that you're clear on the difference between a deposit and a booking fee. And make sure that you're clear on your cancellation policies, etc., as well, and the time periods and all those kind of things you need to thrash out. I would go with 50% minimum. I know that for some of our clients with big treatments and services, it was painful because for some stylists that might literally be their whole day's work. If it's like hair extensions and a balayage, that could be their whole day. So it was a painful policy. I think that you just need to be clear on the cancellation or rebooking policy, because if it is a genuine illness, they might just want to rebook, and therefore they can carry over the deposit to their new appointment. So you just need to make sure you and your team are really clear on and thrash out all the different scenarios that could happen and what the process is in that scenario, and then you'll have absolute confidence in it. But yeah, I personally would recommend 50%, and I think it's good to keep it the same across the board, and then it's not confusing or, oh my god, how much did this person pay deposit, how much did this one, and just have a really simple, clear process that everybody can follow.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the thing, isn't it? It's being clear to make sure that everybody is on the ball with what that needs to be. And I think, like you say, like sometimes if it's like a set figure, it can get confusing if they've had less than that, and then perhaps they've paid too much of their deposit and all that kind of thing. Where if it's 50% across the board of everything, it's much easier to kind of enforce as well. And also it's easier for the clients to remember, they know that they've paid 50% up front. It's 50% of the whole thing that they're booking. So if they're booking 3 or 4 appointments, which, let's face it, they might be at the moment, if you can go to one place that can do your lashes, your nails, your hair, you're likely to want to get everything done all in one go. So at least that's a little bit easier to kind of look at.
Yeah, and I think for busy parents or busy working people that sat at home, they probably want to sit and do it on their phone at 10 o'clock at night, because that's when they're remembered, book several things, get it done. And I know that some people have kind of said, oh, we've done it in the past with new clients, but not regular clients, and all of them, and kind of politics can almost come into play. And this is where you want to be saying to the clients, we want to treat everybody the same. And this business policy applies to everybody. We want to treat everybody exactly the same. I know that in the past we had the same handful of clients that always cancel 5 minutes before. And these are kind of really going to make them up their standards and be like, you either want this appointment or you don't, or if you know that you can't commit to appointments, maybe you just need to call on the day and see if we can get you in. But if you want to book it, you're going to have to pay the deposit.
Yeah, it kind of gets the clients in a better routine, doesn't it, as well? They are more reliable, and you're more likely to get the ones come in that can make appointments. I always found that the ones that usually kind of complained about paying a deposit or a booking fee online were always the ones that weren't going to turn up, and you could almost guarantee that if they complained, there was a bit of a fuss about paying it, they weren't going to turn up. And so it's much easier, I think, to just do it to everybody across the board, like you're saying, treat everyone the same. this is what our policy is, and just kind of go with it from there. And like you say, especially because we're reopening now, it'd be an easier time to start implementing that as well.
Absolutely. At the minute, with every business, any new procedure, blame it on COVID. So because of this, we've now had to implement this. It's the perfect time, it's the perfect excuse to look at all your processes, all your systems, and rejig things as and where you need to. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we've run out of time at the moment, which is amazing. But I want to thank you for coming on, Jess, because this has been absolutely fantastic. I know I myself was guilty of kind of, you know, when I was having my business, sort of not quite doing it to everybody, or, you know, only doing it to new clients. And I think it's really important to talk to someone like you who finds, you know, you get results for your customers, and this is one of the ways that you do that. So thank you very, very much for coming on with us today. We have got a little demo for you all to watch, and I will pop a link in the comments on this video to our blog, which Jess has also put some of her words of wisdom into there as well, which has been absolutely fantastic. And so the demo will be in there to show you how you can set up deposits with Timely, how it looks when you book online, how you can take them in salon as well. So if you're not quite at that online booking stage, you still can take those deposits and secure those appointments. But thank you very much for joining us, Jess. This has been absolutely fantastic. And to everybody else, we'll see you all next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.